It is the Thursday morning of August 26, 2014, and this is Gravelbourg, Saskatchewan, looking in from the east along Highway 43, College Matthew, from the south. There's the Aqua Center with the red roof there. You can go for a swim. And the former convent of Jesus and Mary, and the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption, built in 1918-19. Notre Dame de l'Assomption since 1965. Before then it was the Church of St. Philomena. It's been the co-cathedral with that in Regina since 1998. The Bishop's Palace, now a bed and breakfast. The Order of Jesus and Mary was founded in Lyon in 1816. A contingent of these nuns arrived in Gravelbourg in 1915 to teach. And this is the convent that they built, seen in the evening. The back of it, the nuns moved in on August the 3rd, 1918. And the front of the former convent in the morning, the nuns turned it over to the Gravelbourg School Board in 1970. The order just ran out of nuns. This wing houses a branch of the Chinook Regional Library now. The school population increased so much that this high school was opened in 1964. And this is on the church reserve to the east of the cathedral. This is the College Matthew, chartered in December the 15th, 1917. This is the new building, built in 1989 after the main building burned in May of 1988. The college opened in December of 1918 as a boys-only school. Became co-ed in 1970. And this is the Pavilion Pichet back here, the former library, now a residence. Dating from 1917, it's the oldest surviving building on the church reserve. And here it is. Father Louis-Joseph Pierre Gravel, who arrived in this area in 1906 with his many brothers and a sister to form the colony. It was his vision to establish a French presence in southern Saskatchewan, with such towns as Pontex, Val-Marie, Mazenod, Gravelbourg. There's a little historic cairn to mark the occasion of the founding of the colony. And central to most Saskatchewan communities, lest we forget. Just off Main Street, north of the Cathedral Reserve, is Parc Soucet, named after the first surgeon to take up residence here, Joseph Antoine Soucy. And the railway station at the head of Main Street, the north end of Main Street. And the Western Elevator Company Limited, structure of 1915. And a few empty spaces on the west side, the east side, pardon me. And there's the cathedral down there. Well, the Tribune has been in publication ever since 1910, I think. Continuing on the east side of Main this evening. Missing is the Cecil Hotel, which burned August the 12th, 1926, and the Gravelbourg Hotel as well, which burned May of 1972. Would have been in the vacant lots somewhere that we see. There is a motel over here. Town's population stood at 1,116 in 2011. Pulling up Main Street to swing around and look west down Railway Avenue. And there's a park on Main Street too. This was the site of the original post office, or the former post office. On the west side of Main Street in the evening. The Gaiety Theatre, built in 1946 and restored to the post-war grandeur in 1999. And here is the post office, established June the 1st, 1907, by Emile Gravel, perhaps the cousin of Louis-Joseph Pierre. This building dates from 1928. And looking south down towards the cathedral, celebrating French culture and radio in Gravelbourg and the west side of Maine in the morning. And this barber shop down there, all tiny. And this is the Guy Gravel building, built in 1908. Pharmacy downstairs and dentist upstairs, and that purple truck is passing the Museum of Gravelbourg. Next door almost to the Café Paris, of checkered history. And looking back up towards the post office and the train station. And here is Little Len's and its unique barber pole. Evening at the courthouse, built in 1926-27, now the town hall. And the morning courthouse. The village of Gravelbourg was incorporated December 30th, 1912, and Gravelbourg became a town on November the 1st, 1916. Here's some unique homes on 1st Avenue, or 2nd Avenue rather. And there are other denominations represented in Gravelbourg: St. Stephen's United from 1953 and St. Paul Evangelical Lutheran from 1962. The Maillard Cultural Center and the Order of Mary Immaculate Apartments, commemorating the order that came to teach at College Mathieu. And the train station, 3rd class Canadian Northern variant, built in 1913 at a cost of $5,000, and the old Western elevator, and a caboose with a representation of the station with ladies in slightly dated period costumes. And an evening look down the line towards Hodgeville, Swift Current, although I don't think it ever got out to Swift Current. And the former Pioneer 2, built in 1982. Canadian Northern surveyed this line. In 1911, I had steel on by 1913. I think that station's reversed. And the kitty says it's a 100-pound rail. It's now owned by CPR since 1987. The station stood at miles 78.5 from Gravelbourg Junction near Avonlea. And they like their baseball in Gravelbourg and also their hockey. They've got an outdoor rink and they've got this covered rink. And there's a curling rink and the RCMP detachment. They have a volunteer fire department. Here's the hall on Railway Avenue. And on the west end of town is St. Joseph's Hospital, built in 1990s. And if they can't fix you up at St. Joe's, you'll end up farther west of town. Out here on this glacial lake bed, really rich soils and places around Gravelbourg, which accounts for the fact that there was 9 elevators standing at trackside by 1920. There was all the companies over here: Searle, Reliance, Federal, Pioneer, Pool, of course, Ogilvy, UGG, Topper, Dominion, Alberta Pacific, the first of them standing by 1913 in Gravelbourg, Saskatchewan.